Hello and welcome to Lenovo Unboxed. This is Gavin, along with my good friend.
Gavin, how you doing, Gavin?
I'm doing just fine. We have abandoned our studio today. It was a little lonely in there today.
It was.
And we've constructed this very real-looking workplace cafeteria setting to shoot an unboxing of the ThinkPad Yoga, Kevin.
Had to call in a lot of extras for this one, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is the new combination of our two franchises. You've got ThinkPad, you've got Yoga, you've got the most worldwide, the most well-known business laptop in ThinkPad, and the new sort of symbol of the convertible laptop and the new sort of work play merging in a lot of people's lives.
What's that phrase you like so much?
Two great tastes that go together. Yeah, you know.
It tastes great together.
Yeah, it's not quite chocolate and peanut butter, but it's pretty good.
All right,
and
well,
so we're gonna get right to it. And this is ThinkPad Yoga.
All right.
Kevin, aside from being a great storyline, what's the significance of Lenovo taking a ThinkPad and a Yoga and mashing them up?
Okay, well, you know, to the best of my knowledge, it's the first time that we've actually taken sort of an original design concept from the consumer side and then gone through the engineering process to make it into a ThinkPad. So that's cool. And as we'll talk about, there are definitely some things that we changed, some things that we beefed up, some specific things that some feedback that we got from the original design, some things that we have specifically put in for large enterprise customers, for business customers.
Maybe at the end of this, we'll ask people whether they can weigh in the comments and say, in the end, do you think it's more of a ThinkPad or a Yoga? Obviously, it's some of both, but and the other thing to point out, Kevin, it's an acknowledgement of the way people work and live these days. It's work and play. When you're at work, you're still messing around on Facebook, and when you're at home and you should be playing, you're still online having your night conference calls with your job or checking your email, stuff like that. So.
Well, not to get too philosophical about it, but discussions with the engineers, one phrase that sort of has come out in the discussions is that you really have to change your thinking a little bit going forward, this year and in the future, because for 20 plus years we've been making business ThinkPad laptops that basically, as an unstated goal, that they were going to be reliable, durable, all these other things that we talk about, and let you finish your work as quickly as you could so that you could leave the thing at your desk or put it in your bag and then go home. But that's really not how the majority of people work nowadays. It's sort of a 24-hour, or at least, all waking hours, 16, 18-hour a day cycle where people are using their computer for something. Sometimes it's work, sometimes it's play, but that sort of old dividing line between going home and not using a computer anymore is really gone.
All right, and as you pull it out of the box, the guide in question is, how many devices does it take for you to do your job and have fun as well in your few hours of leisure? Wow. And so the answer is it just one?
Yeah. Well, we've beefed up the security tape. It could be. I would say if you count the phone, this could bring you down to 2.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
If you're talking about laptop, tablet, and phone, this can very easily get you down to 2 devices.
Yep.
All right, so there it is, the ThinkPad Yoga, right?
Where do we begin?
Looks obviously pretty much just like a regular old clamshell notebook, but let's cut right to the chase and show that the key feature, I suppose you could say, of the ThinkPad Yoga is in fact the 4-mode flip around and become a tablet.
Right,
so
and it all starts with the hinges, right? For anybody who's a newcomer to the yoga concept, we introduced it last year, and the idea is 360-degree Lenovo patented hinge, so you go from tablet to laptop and back again with a couple stops in between, right? What do you got here?
So we've got the stand mode in between, which is great for video chatting and for gathering people around it and using the touchscreen.
Very social.
Yep, and then you've got the stand mode, which obviously you wouldn't want to use because the camera's now at the bottom for video chatting, but can be useful for just plopping it on the counter if you need to look up something quickly.
Yeah, the recipe mode.
Recipe mode, yeah, exactly, something like that. So, now
great for watching movies too, right?
Yep.
What about airplane usage?
Yep, I would say stand mode is very cool for that, right? You get it a lot closer to you. You can hang it off the seat back table if you need to a little bit. You got the screen a lot closer to you, much more convenient and less likely to get smashed when the seat comes back.
Sure. And Kevin, let's cut directly to what I think is the most remarkable thing about this product. Certainly the thing that stands out the most, and that's the keyboard. There's a new thing called a lift and lock keyboard on this. And show us what that means, and maybe give a little bit of the background on what our engineers were thinking.
Okay, so one of the key pieces of feedback about the consumer original yoga was that while a lot of people didn't actually mind it, there was a certain subset of people for whom the feeling of touching the keyboard when it was turned over in the tablet mode was kind of disconcerting, right? They logically knew, we told them it turns off after it goes past 180 degrees. You're not actually pressing the keys.
So
you're
the
not
keyboard
hurting
never
them.
touched the table or the desk, but people still had that uneasy feeling, I guess.
Right. So that was proactively, as we say, addressed in this. So we're going to call for a close-up here. As we go down to 180 degrees, everything is as you would expect, normal keyboard.
Keyboard looks normal.
As I pull this around, you can see that the frame between the keyboard keys now lifts up, even with the top of the keys, and underneath each of the key sockets in that frame, there's a little lip that pulls up when the frame rises and locks the keys in place. So now I've got a flat keyboard and I cannot press the keys.
That's amazing.
Right.
So you say that the base comes up as opposed to the keyboard going down.
Correct. The frame around the keyboard comes up, and as a little added sort of usability thing, you'll notice here we've got these two little rubber feet that are normally sort of submerged, but when we flip it over and, for example, want to use it in stand mode, we'll do a little close up here. Notice that the feet rise up as well, so that when I flip this over and use it in tablet mode, I've now got something that is much less. I mean, I can move it if I push it, obviously.
So it reduces the amount of sliding it's going to do, in other words.
Much more stable using it with a touch screen. So just a little added sort of engineering thing that the folks added in the lab.
Very cool. Lift and lock keyboard, it's called. And you mentioned the display. Tell us a little bit about the specs of the display. I know it's Gorilla Glass, but what can you tell me beyond that?
Yep, so Gorilla Glass, we've got two options. We've got regular HD. So for those of you who always ask, we do have IPS, both on the regular HD screen, but for those of you like me who really like the high resolution, going to be happy, FHD as well, full HD, 1920 by 1080 Gorilla Glass, and also optionally, on some models, a pen and a digitizer, a stylus and a digitizer.
Right, and again, for longtime ThinkPad fans, that's something you would recognize from our X series tablets, right?
Yep.
And ThinkPad Tablet 2 as well, which has
Helix,
a pen.
Yep, and Helix, yep.
Great, and that's I don't know anything about this, but I always remember the name Wacom. Is this a Wacom digitizer?
That's a good question. I don't actually know.
I think it is. I think I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
That's just my catchphrase, since I obviously don't know the specs.
Yep.
What else do you want to tell us about some of the speckier side of the thing?
Very quickly, this is up to and include, or built to be up to and including enterprise usage. So up to Core i7 with vPro. Those models will be announcing a little bit later.
And sorry, let me cut in. This is one thing that I neglected to mention. So again, the merging of the ThinkPad and the Yoga franchise, you're getting the best of Yoga, which is the hinge that goes all the way around. But the best of ThinkPad, again, is this attention to detail for people who have large fleet of devices, right?
So you've got full enterprise enablement, all the standard ThinkPad durability and reliability testing. This particular model comes in, let me check my cheat sheet, 3.46 pounds, 1.57 kilos, 19 millimeters, rated for up to 18 hours of battery life. Of course, you can get it with a 256 gig SSD, but also it can take rotational drive, so you can get up to a 1 terabyte rotational drive. 10-finger touch. It does, as we go around the port, you'll see, use our new one-link docking. Right, so you've got docking, pen, digitizer, also options for NFC for near field communications.
Right.
So pretty much, a full set of ports and capabilities in line, with corporate/business usage.
Spec'd out really well, and that one-link dock was something I'm glad you brought up, because I know, some of the things with our consumer devices, they don't dock, and if you're rolling out a bunch of these to a large enterprise or a school system or whatever it's going to be, that's a big deal, right?
Yep, absolutely. Right. So let's do a quick around the horn on the ports here, and I think we can wrap this one up. So we've got security lock slot. We've got mini HDMI. We've got your first of your USB 3.0. We've got SD card. We've got your rotation lock. We've got volume up and down. We've got the power button. Got the pen. Flip it around to the other side here. We've got your combo headphone, microphone jack. We've got the second of your USB 3.0 ports with always-on charging. And then we've got your power port here. And then if you choose to use the one-link dock, you would take out this little rubber blanking plug here. And
blanking plug?
Yeah, it's a technical term, Gavin.
Watch it, Kevin.
And then you've got your one-link dock there.
Great.
We'll put that back in. All right, that's it. ThinkPad Yoga.
ThinkPad Yoga, and again, to put it into context, ThinkPad just turned 21 recently, earlier this month actually. Who'd have thunk in 1992 that you'd be looking at a device with a 360-degree hinge that turns into a tablet? You got pen, you got touch, you got keyboard. It's a new world out there for devices, and ThinkPad Yoga hopefully leading the way for people.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Gavin.
All right, thanks for joining us. Take care. Hit everything?
I think we did.
You guys are good at this.
Not our